All right. Hello, everyone. Think we should be up and running. Hopefully, you guys aren't having too much difficulty getting the stream going. You just got to refresh. I don't know, maybe take a couple minutes, and it should be up and running. But if you're hearing me talk, then you must not be having any issues right now. So, all right. So today we are talking about the 10 rules for success. Okay, this is going to be very interesting. And once again, my name is Brett Calloway. So I'm going to try to keep this nice and short for you guys. We're going to run through all 10. I'm going to talk about each one, and we'll take it from there. So I went ahead and pre-filled out the board, if you guys can see these little pieces of paper, so that I don't have to worry about handwriting my sloppy chicken scratch on the board. So I want you guys to be able to read it. So that's why I went ahead and put it on there. So let's go ahead and let's get started. 10 rules for success. Rule number 1. Okay. Man, this is so important. I cannot stress it enough. You have to increase your urgency. You have to increase your urgency. I don't care where you're at, what stage of life you're in, okay? Unless you are 6 years old, 7 years old, you don't got to worry too much. But man, if you're in your 20s and you think that you have a lot of runway left and you've got a lot of time to figure things out, to make your move, then you're mistaken. Because in today's society, it's the 16 and 17-year-old kids creating startup companies and selling them for hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. Okay, what is the WhatsApp kids? I think they were 17, 18 or something, and now they're in their mid-20s and they're worth $2 billion. Okay, that is your new competition. So you have to increase your urgency. Do not put it off until tomorrow. Okay, you better feel the pressure. If you don't feel the pressure, then you're gonna miss the boat. So increase urgency. This is huge. All right, let's move on. Number 2 is practice. Practice. Okay, you can't just think that you're going to do something and get good at it. You actually have to do it. Imagine that. You have to practice. It's like Larry Bird, you know, when he's playing basketball, he would shoot something like 1,000 free throws by 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay, he practiced. He didn't wait till he was on the court to try to figure it out. Okay, so that's something, I mean, that we all need to really dig in on. This is practice. And it's not about the will to win. It's not that you have to have the will to win. Okay, you have to have the will to prepare to win. Okay, I think that was basketball coach, I'm sorry, I forget who said that. But basically what he is saying is everybody's got the will to win. Everybody wants to be a champion, okay? But you have to have the will to prepare to win. That's the difference, okay? So practice, huge, right? Number 3 is insurance. This is very interesting, okay? Insurance. So I'm not talking just about, say, life insurance or anything like that. What I'm saying is, like, what is it? I think Warren Buffett says you only have to get rich one time. That's it. You only got to do it once. Okay? So, but if you get rich and you make a lot of money, you need to insure yourself against losses. So how many stories have I heard, have you heard of people who did really well for a period of time? You know, they were just firing on all cylinders. They're making tons of money, you know, 100,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $2 million a year. They're just killing it. And then what happens a year or two later? All of a sudden, they can't even make ends meet. What happened? Okay, insurance. When you're making the money, you have to insure yourself. You got to lock that lifestyle in, okay? And there's various ways of doing that. Also, Mark Cuban, when he sold his business for however many billions of dollars, he got paid the majority in Yahoo stock. And he had an advisor, and he was very wise himself, to buy insurance against his position in Yahoo. And when he got paid with Yahoo stock, The stock was worth a lot. It was really high price. Well, what happened? The stock crashed. I mean, it just crashed and burned. So the insurance is why Mark Cuban is still a billionaire. Okay? So insurance is huge. You got to protect what you have. Okay? Moving right along. You have to increase your courage. I hope you guys are writing these down. I flipped the page but these 10 are great things just to remind yourself what it takes. Courage. Increase your courage. How many people do I talk to who tell me that their worst fear is standing up in front of people? Okay, their worst fear is getting out there and putting themselves on the line. Okay, you have to increase your courage. If you're not willing to take a risk and get out there and be afraid, but be courageous to do something, how do you honestly expect to achieve your goals and a high level of success if you're lacking in the courage department? Okay, so increase your courage. Do what scares you. Whatever scares you, you need to look at that and you need to really think about it and push yourself, okay? Because that's what it's going to take. Number 5, get a hold of something and hang on to it. This is very interesting because today in the real estate financial education market, what are they always teaching? What are they always talking about? They're talking about fix and flip. They're talking about day trading stocks. How many people do you talk to and how many people do you know that is a legitimate strategy that they put a lot of hard work and effort into, which is a short-term hold, short-term flip. Okay, you're not holding it very long. Okay, now if you look at like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, they take the opposite approach. They're not about day trading. They're not about fix and flipping. They get a hold of something and they hang on to it. Warren Buffett, he buys stocks that he wants to own forever. Okay, now he'll sell stocks at certain times. If he's got way too much profit on the table, he'll take some profit off the table, increase his cash a little bit. So I'm not saying that he never sells anything, but what I'm saying is he's not going to touch it if he's not willing to keep it forever. And then when he does buy it, he keeps it until there's so much profit sitting on the table that he has to take his profits. Okay, so we need to adjust our mindset and stop thinking so short-term fix and flip, assignment, day trading. We got to stop thinking in short term. We need to be thinking about buy and hold. Buy and hold. This is the key to wealth, is the buy and hold. Okay. So we're halfway through. Now, number 6. This one's a mouthful. Extraordinary imaginative vision. I don't want to have to say that again. Basically, what this one is talking about is you have to be able to visualize what it is that you want. And so if you're in a situation and you're surrounded by a group of people who are, let's say, they're not performing well, they're in bad shape, they don't have any money, and you think, oh, well, I came from poverty and my neighbor is in poverty and it's just all around me, or just unhappiness, or whatever negative situation you could put yourself in, okay? If you think that just because that's all you see around you, that there's no other option, okay, that is not following this. You're not having the vision, okay? What this is saying is that when you are in those extremely negative situations, the extremely negative situations, that you are able to imagine, envision a different life for yourself. Because you can look at somebody who's risen up. Have we all heard stories of people rising up from the ashes, sleeping in their car, being homeless, starting with nothing, going bankrupt, and coming back to be on top? We could just rattle off all night, story after story after story of people doing that. Okay, so no matter what negative position you're in, You need to have the imagination and the vision to see yourself rising up out of that situation. Because if you can't see it, it ain't gonna happen. Okay. All right, we're on to number 7. This one is great. By the way, we're about 10 minutes in. I'm probably gonna end up going 20 minutes. I try to get it at 15, but I think we're gonna run just about 5 minutes over. But we're getting there. Change your mind, change your life. I know you guys have heard this, you know, but I want to I want to dig in on this one a little bit, okay? Because this is extremely important, okay? So everything that happens in life, it starts in your brain. Everything. Think about it. Like, I'm moving my fingers only because my brain, it started in my brain, and then I moved my fingers. That is how life works. So if you can't change your mind, if you can't get the right mindset, then you'll never change your life, no matter what it is you're trying to do. No matter what. Okay, it starts up here. All right. So, you know, humans are, we're kind of like lucky and unlucky at the same time, because we have an extremely powerful brain, and which can be used for a lot of good things, but it can also really, really hurt us. So, you know, so we have to harness that power. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about real quick before we move on is, let's say that you're working on something. There's always 2 sides to the coin, always. So if you're, it's hard to be on both sides of the coin, okay? Sometimes you can, but let's just say that most of the time in life, you're on one side of the coin. So there's always competition, there's always an argument, there's always a debate with the other side of the coin, okay? That's just life. I mean, that's just how, you know, get used to that, okay? So here's the deal. Here's what most people do. Most people spend their time researching and looking for information that backs up their side of the coin, because they see opposition. So they're like, I need to equip myself to go to battle with this person, so I need to arm myself with all this information to back me up, right? And does, I mean, I wonder if you guys, how do you guys think? I mean, is that how you think? Do you see where I'm going with this at this point? Okay. What I'm encouraging you to do is to change your mind and not think about all the ammunition you need to back your side. I want you to jump on the other side of the coin, and I want you to research the other position, because that is how you take control of the situation. You need to be able to understand and debate the other side of the coin better than your opposition can. So when you know their position better than they do they even stand a chance? And the answer is no, they don't. They won't stand a chance, okay? So don't spend so much time backing yourself up, okay? Because all you're going to do is go up against somebody who's backing themselves up, and you're never going to come to a conclusion, okay? You're just going to butt heads all the time. But if you jump on that side of the coin, learn their argument, and then you know your side, I'm telling you, it's going to be a powerful, powerful switch, okay? So this one's huge, okay? All right, let's move on to number 8. Look for aha moments, okay? Don't take this one for granted. Don't take this for granted, okay? This one is huge. So when you go to a meeting, or you're out and about, or you're watching a live stream like this, and you think, oh, I've heard all this stuff before, and maybe you have kind of a negative attitude, or maybe you have a positive attitude. What I'm saying is, even in this presentation, this 20-minute presentation, there are aha moments sitting right here in front of your face. You have to take it. You have to look for it. People who are experts, people who are wildly successful, they're not going to spend their time proving their point to you. They're not going to sit there and argue with you for hours on end until you concede and say you're right. What they're going to do is they're going to present you with information, and you can take it or leave it. More than half the books that you're ever going to read, the author is dead. He does not care. He does not care whether you liked his book, or he's not going to argue with you from the grave, okay? It doesn't matter. It's up to you to look for aha moments every single day. So if you're not finding aha moments on a daily basis, you have not changed your mind, and your life will not change. So look for these aha moments, okay? Be very, very open to that and look for them constantly. So this is probably my favorite one, hands down on the list. So be quick, but not in a hurry. Okay, this is so great. I love this, and this is where you talk about PI versus IP. This is patiently impatient versus impatiently patient. Okay, and I know they sound the same, and it's a mouthful, but be quick, not in a hurry. Most people are patiently impatient, meaning they'll sit back, they'll wait for years to make a decision, and then when they make a decision, they want results right now. They're like, they'll wait forever to pull the trigger on investing, and then once they invest, they didn't get rich in 2 weeks, and they get frustrated. Okay, that right there is a recipe for a rough, not so good existence. Okay, I'm telling you. Now, understanding that, you take the flip side, and that's a recipe for living a great life, okay? And that is become impatiently patient. Impatiently patient. That means when you're not going to wait to act. When something comes along, you're diving in. You're jumping in head first, okay? Right in the deep end every time. You're jumping in, okay? You're impatient. You're not willing to sit around and wait and put stuff off till tomorrow. You're not willing to do that. So you act fast, but once you act, you become very patient because you realize that it is a process. It is a process. Nothing happens overnight. So you're quick to jump in, but then once you're in there, you're willing just to get in the grind and just grind it out. And I tell you what, if you start looking for aha moments on a daily basis and you're grinding it out because you're impatient, you start right off the bat, but then you're super patient and you grind it out day to day after that, I'm telling you, you're going to achieve your goals, period. It's going to happen. So this one's huge. I love number 9. So let's go ahead to number 10. We're going to wrap it up. So the number 10 rule for success: pass on what you know. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Okay? How many people do you know come to you and say, there's not enough time in the day? If I could replicate myself 10 times, I could be amazing at what I could get done. There's just not enough time in the day. This will solve that problem for you. This solves that problem. So what happens if you start sharing your knowledge with the people around you and they pick up even half of what you're teaching, okay? Then for every 2 people, that you just recreated yourself over, okay? So you start cloning yourself. And the way you do that is you pass on what you know. You pass on what you know. It's a great example. I met these guys. They're older guys, Wayne and Dave, and they're probably in their mid-60s, and they have an extreme amount of experience in real estate development. And they're putting together a new project. They've been working on it for a while, and it's moving ahead in its phases. And I met these guys only last week. Okay, and they're looking for somebody to pass their knowledge on to. Okay, they're looking for it, and guess what I do? My mind has changed. Like, I'm not worried about that. My mind is open. I look for aha moments all the time, and I am quick to act, but very patient. So when I met these guys, I knew what the opportunity was, so I jumped on it. Absolutely jumped on it. So guess what? I am going to go soak up their knowledge, okay? They've taken over 10 companies public. They've developed real estate all across the country, and they've got 40 years experience doing this stuff in their respective fields. It's amazing opportunity. And so you better believe I'm taking advantage of that, okay? But guess what they get? They get me to go do their crap work for little to no money. That's what they get. So they're cloning themselves. They've got a lot of work to do. This is a major project. And by opening up their books and being willing to pass their knowledge on to me, what do they get? They get cheap labor. Cheap labor, and somebody who's willing to put in the hard work. So which you want to play both sides of this coin. You want to be in both positions. But if you've got a lot of work that needs to get done and you need people, then you have to pass along your knowledge, and that's how people start working for you and you start cloning yourself. Okay? So, those are the 10 rules for success. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I love these rules. These are fantastic. And I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And also, before we leave, I just want to remind you guys, I'm sure most of you know that I am promoting Tai Lopez 67 Steps. Okay, this is a fantastic program. Okay, where do you think I learned this stuff? Right here. You think I'm smart enough to know this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I read and I seek out this information. That's what I do. And I'm telling you guys that right here is the best spot for this type of information. I just scratch the surface. This program gives you access to almost 100 hours of material. 100 hours. I just spent, what, 20 minutes. I didn't scratch the surface. Not even a little. So, if you guys are interested, the 67 Steps, I'm promoting this product. I'm an affiliate with his program, so I have buttons below and above and somewhere on the page. You can click, you go through me, I get a commission. It's the same amount whether you go in straight through his website or through my link. It's the same amount. It's $67. Okay, it's a one-time fee. He has a reoccurring VIP program that you can opt out of. So you get the 67 Steps, lifetime access for a one-time fee of $67. I'm telling you guys, this is the best program on the market that I've come across. I've taken a ton of programs. So if you guys are interested, click the link. Check out the program, and I promise you're going to love it. And I'm getting great feedback from people who are already purchased the program, and they're calling me and emailing me, and they're like, "Wow, this is actually really cool." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." So, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. I want to thank you guys for tuning in once again, and if you have any questions or you want to email me or chat or anything, I got my email address below the video. It's brett@lvprivatemoneyrei.com. Shoot me an email if you want to chat, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.